start on time?
Is it 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock
We
on the
did
dot.
it. We did it, Hilo.
Are we live?
We did it, Hilo.
We had to start while Hilo was still in here being cute.
We've already recorded 2 long videos. We started our Rebels rewatch recordings today. We've already finished season 1, and so we talked about that for like an hour. And he was like, "Okay, that's usually about how long you record on a Thursday." Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we sat down to do the Q&A, and he was like, "What are you doing? You already recorded something." And now here we are again.
He must think we're crazy in here talking to ourselves.
Who are they even talking to? They're always in here talking.
How's everybody doing? I'm tired and hot and sweaty. So that's where I'm at today. It is just unbelievably hot. Not just here, in most places right now in the country. And it's just oppressively hot. And
It's very hot.
I hate it. And we can't do anything outside because it's too hot. So let's build some Lego.
I'm already like, I feel like I'm missing some pieces, but yeah, it's also, we didn't do one of these last week because of Indiana Jones. That just ate up all our time on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then, what were we doing Tuesday? Something happened Tuesday.
Did we do trivia?
No. Oh, it was 4th of July.
Oh, right.
I was like, why didn't we do any
I was
streams?
thinking of last Tuesday.
Yeah. So we haven't streamed in like a week and a half.
Yeah. It's just been tough because, like, I feel like this is a good downtime for us, but also we keep having little things pop up here and there, and then we're like, oh, this gets in the way of streaming, and this gets in the way of streaming, so... but let's get into some super chats. I have to go ahead and read this one from Sean Sully.
Oh, that guy.
Because I was going to bring it up anyways. We named the dog Louisiana.
Yeah.
You want to explain?
Sure. For the people who watched today's video, it was my interview with Delilah Dawson, and I guess it was like 2 weeks ago that certain POV, Molly's other channel, they did an Indiana Jones trivia night, and I was going to compete with it. I did compete in it, and everyone on the stream had like goofy Indiana Jones parody names. Mm-hmm. And a long time ago, my friend, who, if you ever watched Explain It to Me, it was Ashton. Our friend Ashton said Louisiana Beauregard as an Indiana Jones style name that I thought was hysterical. So I made that my name on StreamYard, and then completely forgot to change it, and forgot that StreamYard just keeps that. So I went into my interview with Delilah Dawson with the name Louisiana Beauregard and didn't notice, and she didn't say anything if she noticed. I don't know if she did.
I wonder if she did. And
I'm gonna message her and ask.
I don't get that meme.
Like, she didn't say anything if she noticed. But we recorded 2 interviews like that, and then I edited both of them, didn't notice, had no idea until today, and someone tweeted at me and was like, "Who's Louisiana Beauregard?" And I was like, oh no, like I immediately knew what happened. But it's pretty funny.
It's like pretty big on the screen too.
It's huge.
When you showed it to me, I was like, oh my God.
Molly heard me go, "Oh no." But I was laughing when I said it, so she came in and I was like, "Just look." And then you burst out laughing.
It was such a delight to see. Whenever Alex really messes something up, it's so delightful. For me. I don't know. Because it's not very often that it happens. So, we had to celebrate. Let me go back up to the first super chat that we got earlier today from... Actually, the first 2 we got from Elo Asti. What is one thing you appreciate about Willie in the Temple of Doom? I will go ahead and say that I appreciate her commitment to the bit.
I was going to say word for word that.
Because we talked about this already, or who was it that we were talking to? Maybe it was on Bombadcast, or...
I thought it was...
Was it Force Center?
No, I thought it was with POV.
POV? I can't remember.
Because I think... I remember Jill saying she would tolerate no Willie Scott slander.
Yeah, but somebody said that, like, specific line, and I was like, yeah, that's fair.
It was stuck in our heads then. But
Yeah.
I was going to say word for word that. Then I'll just say she is a terrific screamer. Like, that seems like what they hired her to do. We want someone to sing and scream. I mean, that's... Temple of Doom is the closest to a horror movie I think they've got.
That's true. Yeah, Jill said, no Willie slander. To be fair, I think I've only seen that whole movie from start to finish twice. I just haven't given it enough good college tries, maybe. I don't know. The last time I watched it, I was like, this is more intense than I remember it being. And Harrison Ford is in really good shape. Those are like my two takeaways from the movie. But
I remember watching it like pretty early on when we started dating, I think. And it was with a group of people, and I just remember our friend Mark. It was like right after the Kali Ma scene that Indy and Willie and all them witness, and then he kind of turns to talk to Willie and Short Round and everyone, and then he turns back and there's a thuggy like right there. Mm-hmm. It's a jump scare, and Mark was just like, that's not okay. Like, that was the way he responded.
Yeah, I should give it another shot. She is camp. I will say that. Jill said Willie is camp. We love everything camp. I don't think I really understood camp back when I saw this movie for the first time, so I should watch it with that in mind. And then their second super chat says, would someone like Mace Windu have shown, quote, Jedi wisdom and restraint if he didn't know Yoda and Yoda was acting silly like at the start of Empire?
I think Mace would have questioned that. I don't see Mace letting his guard down in that way. Well, I think he has some kind of funny moments in the Clone Wars throughout. I mean, his time with Jar Jar, maybe that helped him a little bit.
Yeah, Mace, I don't know, like, his character just seems a little harder than everybody else, a little more stern.
Mm-hmm. What was the say the question again?
Would he have shown Jedi wisdom and restraint if he didn't know Yoda was... If he didn't know Yoda, period, and...
Oh, and Yoda...
Oh, Yoda
okay,
was
so
acting...
basically if he were Luke on Dagobah.
Yeah,
and
if Yoda was acting a fool in front of Mace...
Okay.
Would he tolerate it?
I don't think he'd tolerate it, but I also don't think he would have acted the way Luke did. Of just like, what are you doing? Put that down. Hey, that's my dinner.
I'm looking for a warrior.
Right. I think he would have been like, you're odd. But I think he probably would have offered him food.
You're strange and unbecoming.
I think he would have offered him some food. I think he would have been a little more welcoming.
Yeah. I agree. Especially going to a planet that you'd never been to and then immediately shrugging off the one person that you've found, or the one creature that is able to speak and help you. You're just like, get out of here, scram.
I think he maybe would have, let's say everything else in the Clone Wars still happened and he went through those experiences with Jar Jar, which is also the Temple of Doom, that maybe that would have helped him handle that situation. He'd be like, oh, I remember. Yeah. I remember this. You're a little kooky, and that's okay. I find value in that.
Kooky. Kooky's a good word for it. We all should be more kooky. I get more kooky as I get older, and I just don't care.
You're an absolute kook.
Yep. Darth Nicholas, thank you for the next super chat. This may have been asked before, but who is your top Indiana Jones Glupshido? So I think we talked about this a little bit in the last Q&A, or maybe 2 Q&As ago, when we did all indie questions. And I decided, because I was like, I don't think I really have thought about any indie Glupshidos, but then I decided it's the super old knight in Crusade. He's my Glupshido.
I think that's a good one. My new indie Glupshido is actually from Dial of Destiny. So it's good that you've asked it now, because I really, really love the pilot that wakes up and is stuck with Teddy on that plane, who just kind of wakes up in the middle of something crazy, and he's like, okay, I guess I'm all in. Here we go. So that's his name is Luigi in the credits, I think.
Luigi?
I looked through all of the names in the credits, and I was like, I had to scroll down to where I thought he might be like listed in the cast for as much screen time as he had, and I was like, I think that's him, and his name was Luigi.
Nice. Yeah, the real Doomslayer 420 says the ghost from Temple of Doom.
Right.
Well, I was talking about, my joke from that Q&A was I called the knight the ghost because, like, I don't know why, but I always thought he looked like a ghost the way he's lit.
He is lit to be very ethereal.
Yeah, he's kind of got this, like, bluish tint. He almost looks like a Force ghost, but anyways, I kept calling him the ghost, and I was like,
and I didn't know who
he
you
hadn't
were
been
talking
dead
about.
yet. But yeah, I think that's my one that I just, like, the first thing that popped in my head was him, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stick with that.
I'll go with someone that has an even less screen time. It's Pat Roach's character in The Last Crusade, because he was mostly cut, but I love that Pat Roach is still in it. He did have a fight with Indiana Jones, a fist fight, so they did all that stuff, and it's just that we didn't get to see it, but I'm glad that it was all there.
Yeah. Oh man, my Instacart order is already on its way.
Okay, well, Hilo's gonna start barking soon.
And Darth Nicholas sent another super chat. Super chat, and see him getting kooky already.
You kook.
I totally dig the Louisiana name. Based on my experience, Louisiana, especially New Orleans and Cajun country, have the best food in the USA. Have you been to Louisiana and had a chance to sample their Creole and Cajun cuisine? Yes.
Yep.
And it is amazing. Super, super recommend if you've never been. If you get a chance to go and do nothing but eat and drink and be merry.
We haven't been since 2008. I think that's when we went.
Was it 08 or 07 or 09?
I think it was 08. We met in 07.
Some year around then.
We met in 07, so we probably went in 08
Yeah.
and had a great time.
Brian says, I want to go to that crawfish boil you guys went to. There actually were no crawfish in it, so I wouldn't call it a crawfish boil. It was not a legit.
It was a low country boil.
Yeah, it was just regular shrimp, but there was shrimp and sausage.
Shrimp, sausage, corn.
Potatoes. I got like a whole chunk of onion.
Oh yeah, onion.
That I was eating.
I ate a whole chunk of garlic thinking it was onion. It was good.
Yeah, it was really good. I'm not saying it was less tasty. There was no crawfish in it.
Get your facts straight, Brian. That's POV Brian, right?
Yes.
Okay, I wanted before I sass
Well,
a random Brian.
There's onions in it, so he's not going to eat it.
That's true.
You'd have to make him his own little separate tiny boil with no onion. He says, I will fight you, Alex. Them's fighting words.
Just throw an onion at him.
Slim Diddy J says, no question, thanks for the great content. Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you, Slim Diddy. That's a fun name.
I don't know how to say that. Ewing? E-I-W-E-I-N-G.
A-Wing?
A-Wing?
A-Wing? I don't know.
Well, they have the next super chat. Have you sampled all of the... Wait. Have you sampled all of the Narcus anchorite conversations yet? What is that?
Oh, you can go to... No, I haven't. The answer is no. On Survivor, you can go and talk to all of the...
Oh.
Wait, have I done that? I think I did. If Narcus... All I can hear is Narcus the Buzzkill.
I
first
know,
of all.
me too.
I
thought that's who they were talking about.
At the theater we go to all the time in Atlanta, Dragon Con, they do improvised Dungeons and Dragons, and one of our friends plays a paladin named Narcus the Buzzkill. And I'm shocked that it didn't dawn on me that there's a Narcus in Survivor. But if is that the person who you can trade scrolls with? If so, I have listened to all that they had to say. But honestly, I need to go through. I did not just talk to everyone as much as I should have. So, no. I'm going to say I probably have not listened to every Narcus conversation.
Well, they said it was interesting stuff.
I was kicking myself because not just from Narcus, but like Eno Cordova has a ton of great dialogue that I was kind of trying to just get through the story as fast as I could, and I wish I did not do that, and I wish I spent more time talking with everyone.
That's something that I will do a lot. I'll just go and see what everyone has to say. Because I like the tea. I'm here for
What's
it.
the drama? Eno's like, I think that Bode guy might be kind of... Oh, never mind.
Kind of sus. I think he has a crush on Cal. Because they do nothing but flirt.
I'm going to stop talking.
Chris Chui Tibet. I hope I didn't butcher your name too bad. Thank you for the next super chat. Are you worried Lucasfilm will never do anything outside Star Wars again? I've always wanted an animated Indiana Jones series. Mm-hmm. I'm not worried that they'll never do any non-Star Wars projects again, but now that you mention it, we are kind of done with Indy for now. Or at least Harrison definitely is. Willow, I don't even want to get into that. They did Willow dirty.
Disney did. Not Lucas.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think that they're going to ever venture out into like a new storytelling adventure? I said adventure too many times.
You said venture and adventure, so that's all right.
Hi, Chase. R.I.P. Willow.
I don't know. I think I am concerned that they never will. I don't know. I'm not like super concerned because even Indiana Jones, I've been talking about, like, I love that franchise, but it's not one that I need to constantly continue. I'm okay if Dial of Destiny is the last indie story that we ever get.
It felt like the last.
Yeah, and if they don't do anything else for, like, if they don't do the Abner Ravenwood series or whatever, I'm gonna be okay. So
oh yeah, they also said at least we have the Xbox indie game coming.
Yeah.
Is that gonna be Xbox exclusive?
And PC.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, at first it's just gonna be that.
Boo.
Which still, yeah.
Boo.
But yeah, I think I would be a little concerned. I hope that they get to stretch their creative legs and do something outside of Star Wars.
Yeah.
But that's also, like, if all they ever do is Star Wars forever until the end of time, like, I guess I'll be okay with that.
now we have Disney Plus, and now we can do they can do all of the series, Disney Plus series, TV shows that they want to do. I feel like they would concentrate on that more so than creating a whole new world to tell stories in.
I hope that they
I hope that they
do.
do it at some point, because it would be nice and refreshing, but I don't know. They got too much money to make on Disney Plus.
I mean, it seems pretty clear that Star Wars is the one franchise that they have that obviously is still got a solid audience, where Indiana Jones, not a ton of people went and saw it. I think its box office has kind of improved a bit. Like it did well on Monday, but it still had a pretty rough start. And again, like, don't even want to get into Willow, because that was just upsetting. But I think I remember when they announced that, and I was like, I'm surprised they're going this direction.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like they were just putting out feelers to see how much interest there was in these franchises. And so they're probably just going to focus on Star Wars for now. But I would not mind at all if they were just like, we're making up a new universe. We hope you like it.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
I like what Dan Merle said on Threads. Yes, we're on Threads, by the way. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he basically was like, I don't want to get into the whole box office conversation too deeply, but he was talking about the production companies putting way too much money in these movies. Mm-hmm. Just pouring money into it, and then they're like, oh, it didn't make as much as we thought. Like, no shit. Sorry.
I guess we have the... Molly's got the emote.
Oh, what's my emote for cussing? I don't remember. I don't even have the emotes on here, do I?
You should.
Add reaction. Oh, yeah. There it is. Okay. But
yeah, agreed. A $300 million budget for Indiana Jones. It's a lot, but you know, Harrison Ford is not a cheap actor, and de-aging him is not a cheap process. So
right. Yeah.
It's kind of like the Solo argument, because it went through so many reshoots. Its budget got to be around $300,000, but if it didn't have all the reshoots, I think it was going to be closer to 160 million. Mm-hmm. And then it just wouldn't have been such a financial risk. I think it would have made its money back. I think around now it's probably broken even after physical sales and stuff like that, but people wouldn't have been like, oh, it lost so much money. It would have been okay if it didn't have all the reshoots. So yeah, hopefully, like, in tomorrow's video, I talk about the Dawn of the Jedi movie and the budget and everything. I'm like, I hope it's a smaller budget with some smaller actors. Mm-hmm. It's 25,000 years in the past, so you can do some lower key stuff and just have a really cool, interesting new Star Wars movie that'll probably make its money back, especially because people just don't seem to be going to the movies as much anymore, or at least they're more picky.
I mean, yeah, the movies are getting more and more expensive. Going to the movies for a whole family to go and get like snacks and drinks is ridiculously expensive. So yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it too.
And our own perspective, I don't know, we shifted. Maybe it's just over the course of the pandemic and everything, but I was someone who was like, every Marvel movie, I want to be there opening weekend. I want to keep up with this stuff. And now I'm like, I just saw Ant-Man 3 on a plane, and I was fine with that. Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
On a plane is like probably the worst way to see a movie, but you're also stuck in the air with nothing else to do. So it feels like, well, I might as well watch something. But yeah. Our TV here is, and we have surround sound, so like watching it here would have been better.
Well, sure. But it's kind of like, it's more that Ant-Man 3 wasn't a priority for me. because it had been out
Yeah.
on Disney Plus for a while.
I still don't think I'm gonna see it.
Right. Like, it was out on Disney Plus, and I was still like, I'm not gonna throw it on. But when I was on the plane, I was like, I got a couple hours to kill. I'll watch Ant-Man 3. Why not?
But you've also always said that you like to watch bad movies on planes.
I didn't think that was bad. But there is...
It's like a time waster kind of thing.
There is kind of an art for me to choosing an airplane movie, where it's almost like I think I will enjoy the Fast and Furious 10 more on a plane than if I were to go see it in a theater.
Sure.
I just think that's the case. I've watched Fasts 7 through 9, including Hobbs and Shaw, all on a plane, to varying degrees of success. But I feel like on a plane, I'm a little less critical. I'm just like, that was fun.
It's commitment.
That was a wild movie.
I scrolled back up because we had Gio Flores. Thanks so much for being a Biggs mega fan for 9 months. You guys can all use all of our emotes, our special emotes. Whenever I cuss, there's a special Molly cussed
But don't.
emote.
Still don't.
I might.
Don't do it.
Gio said, in The Last Crusade, would you be able to leave the cave for a few years and come back and drink from the fountain and still live forever?
No, I don't think so. Because they said the story about one of the knights, one of the three brothers,
He left, right?
like left and very quickly died. So I think that once you leave the cave, I mean, you could probably like hop out and hop back in and be okay, but probably the older you are, the less time it's going to take for you to die once you take a step out.
I think that makes sense.
It's kind of like Bilbo in The Ring, like how quickly he started to age
yeah.
after.
Yeah. There's something about the ring that was like keeping him
Young.
Which is interesting because it's like a dark power, but I guess it just wants to keep him around for as long as possible. I don't understand indie magic and Bible magic and how all that works. So
They're exactly the same thing.
it's Bible magic and I don't trust it. And then I scrolled down to see Andrew Yako, who has been a member for 2 months. Thank you so much, Andrew.
Thanks, Andrew.
Why does it, and I'm going to go back and get to those super chats as well that were before this, but why does it seem like the movies where Indy fights Nazis are better than movies where he fights someone else?
They just are.
It's just the classic thing, I guess. Like, it's the easiest, simplest villain for him to go after.
Yeah, it's easy to root
No one
against
can argue
Nazis.
that, and if you're arguing it,
Yeah,
you might want to look at yourself. Check yourself.
It's very easy to root against Nazis. But yeah, I think that it's just putting Indy against a very clear villain, whereas like the Soviets, I don't fully understand their motivations of why they wanted the skull, what they were going to do with it,
Knowledge.
and what were they going to do with it.
Mind control.
Like the indie villains that are Nazis are always like, we want to use the Ark as this giant weapon, or Donovan, Nazi sympathizer, helper, assistant, also just Nazi, but he wants eternal life.
Fanboy.
And then Voller very clearly has his motivations. So I think that's part of it, is just that they had better motivations.
Mm-hmm. Jane says, I think it's because they didn't have to explain why you have to root against them, so they're able to be less dark because they're not showing the villains as cruel. You already know that they're evil.
Yeah, it's also, that's a good point. You just very quickly, you don't have to spend any exposition. You're just like, look, bad guys.
Yeah.
Kind of the same way with Star Wars, where it's just you look at a stormtrooper and you're like, yep, those are the bad guys.
Would you say that was lazy writing?
No.
Always going back to the Nazis, huh? Also, I can't help but think Indy living out the rest of his years constantly being on edge that everything is secretly being controlled by Nazis. Because they're always behind shit. Oh, I said it again.
What is your deal today?
They're always lurking behind every corner, and poor Indy is going to think they're just everywhere.
Yeah,
and
he just keeps stumbling into Nazis. And...
It's because I don't have a drink is why I'm cursing all of a sudden, I guess. The one thing I changed. I'm trying to drink more water. All right, let's go back up to Julian Migon. Thank you so much for the next one. Hello, I only got into Star Wars a couple of years ago, so I've only been here a few months, but you've been really helpful on my journey, so thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yay.
And welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying the start of your journey.
I hope it's been a fun journey so far, and I'm glad we're here to help.
Your first steps into a larger world.
And Darth Nicholas has the next one now. Who is your top non-Star Wars and non-indie Glepshido?
Okay, so like just a minor
Like
character
anything
in
and
any
anywhere?
movie.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Can it be from a TV show?
I think sure, why not? I'll go Lord of the Rings and say Gamling. He's one of the writers of Rohan, and he's Gamling the Old. That always made me laugh. His name is Gamling the Old in the books, and then he's not that old in the movies, but I kind of still hope.
We have friends that we could give that title to.
That's true. Like maybe it was more his attitude than his actual age.
Jane Dalton, welcome to the Bigs Mega Fans. Oh, I need that button. My little horn button. I feel like it ran out of batteries and then
It did not run out of batteries. It was just off and then you turned it on.
Well, I don't know where it is
I don't know where
now.
you did it.
I
Where
have-
you did it? Where you put it?
I have like a little horn button. Anyways. Recovery Hacker, thank you for being a member. They said janitor. That's a good one. From Scrubs, I assume.
That's not a Glepshido. He's in the main credits. But Recovery Hacker might be referencing the same actor, Neil something. He plays a cop in The Fugitive, and JD sees him in The Fugitive, and then like that becomes a whole episode. So maybe that's the Glepshido he's referring to.
I want to say Jonathan from Buffy. Does that count?
No. He's
Not
a major...
Just in case Chase is still here, I don't want to talk spoilers.
Okay. Good point. But no, he doesn't count.
Okay, fine.
Like, if you were to choose a monster of the week, I think that counts in a show. Even though... But a recurring character, nah.
Oh, what is his name? I don't want to talk too many spoilers. How about I'll go to Parks and Rec instead of Buffy. So since we can't talk too many spoilers, how about the cult leader guy?
That's a good one.
That he rents out the park every so often because he's sure that that's going to be the last day on Earth, and so him and his other cult followers go, and then Ron goes and sells them all flutes because they all just go and like sit and play music. And of course he's never right about the date, so like every time the night goes by, he comes back to Leslie, who's the Parks and Rec director, and he's like, you know what? My calculations were off. It's actually this date. Can we book that date? And she's like, oh, no, we've got a festival going on that day. And he's like, you know what? I misspoke. It's actually this date. Can we book it then? It's like such a dumb thing. But...
I can't remember his line, but I do love his line delivery. Like, he just pops into a conversation someone else has, and he's like, when Zorp arrives, your face will melt off in a fire. Like,
and they're like, okay. Sure thing. Other Ron from Parks and Rec is a good one, too. I mean, there's a lot more that I just am blanking on right now, but...
All of my Parks and Rec choices, I feel like, are side characters, but not Glup Shido status.
Oh, what's his name? The hairdresser.
He's a recurring character.
He's only in it like 2 or 3 times.
Typhoon is no Glup Shido, madam.
All right.
He would not take kindly to you saying that.
That is true.
He's the main character. He gets married to Craig. That's not a Glup Shido.
Andrew Law Art, thank you for the next super chat. I always wanted to go have a chat with the old knight and catch him up on what happened in history. That poor confused look he had on his face. Yeah.
I always felt bad for him too.
Especially
like they show up and then wreck his home.
I know.
And he's like, okay, I'll die.
He needed an excuse to go, I think. But I also like that he's just kind of sitting back while they're trying to pick out the right cup. And he's like, oof.
What if he started to laugh while Donovan has the gold? It's so beautiful. He's like,
that's not the cup of a carpenter.
Got him.
Got him. Yeah, they didn't even ask him if he was like ready to go.
Do you want to leave with us?
Another super chat from Julian. Thank you so much. Also, how excited are you for Gaga and Joker, Molly? So excited? So excited. I actually really enjoyed that Joker movie. I didn't think I would, but I like really traumatized and problematic characters like that. I don't know. But yeah, I'm super excited. I love the character of Harley Quinn in general, but getting to see Lady Gaga play her is like a whole other level for me.
I will say I was not a big fan of the Joker movie. I thought it was okay, but I guess I'm the opposite. I don't like those kinds of characters. But the casting announcement, I was like, okay, that's interesting.
And it's got this like musical element to it as well, which obviously, why would you put Gaga in a position and have her not sing? That's just wasteful. But I think that is cool and fun and different and a way to really showcase her talent.
Put that there.
So I'm cool with it. It feels like a big swing, and I think they can pull it off.
It felt like good casting.
Yeah. I mean, the whole idea to do standalone Joker movies like that, I think that was a big swing to begin with. So I like that they're taking chances with this new Joker. Campy, thank you for the next super chat. Have you guys ever tried any of the Star Wars TTRPGs?
Yes. Just a little bit.
What's the
tabletop role-playing games.
Tabletop, okay. Yeah. I was like, I know what RPG
yeah, I mean,
is.
Even though Molly doesn't know what it stands for, she did play.
I played a one-day game where we were just kind of messing around with it.
We did that. I've played on JodoCast a couple times. I played a one-shot at Dragon Con. I think that's it. I've also played Imperial Assault, which is not an RPG, but we kind of put a little role-playing improv element into it. I liked it. We've played D&D quite a bit more. I really want to learn the Star Wars systems, though, because I think it would be fun.
Yeah, I feel like there's so much potential there for us to really, like, dive in and get really juicy with the characters that we would make and the scenarios and stuff, just because of how much Star Wars lore that we know.
I would really like to run a game. Wait a minute. Oh, there it is.
One of these faces is a little Lego head.
That's funny. I would like to actually run a game and be the GM for a bunch of friends who don't know as much about Star Wars as I do, and like have them basically try to break the game. I think that would be fun. And like do things that I'd be like, well, technically you can't do that in the Star Wars universe, and then they roll a 20 or whatever, and I have to do it. I think that'd be fun.
Sean says, Alex, I know a guy. Offers on the table. Just say the word.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk at DragonCon. You can teach me the system.
You gotta find time for to learn the system. I feel like I keep saying we're getting some time off, and then our schedule is getting more and more packed, and then August is just a mess. Anyways. Dark Nicholas has the next one. Have any of you read the Dark Horse indie comics? The only place I'm able to read them online is Comic Extra, which is a pretty awesome site for obscure, out-of-print Star Wars comics, especially the Clone Wars ones.
No, I have not read any of the indie comics, period. So I think they had some Marvel ones too. I think I've read like a couple issues here or there, strictly because I was doing videos about it. Mm-hmm. But I've never just read the Indiana Jones comics.
Yep, never read an indie comic. Johnny C. Books and Comics in the chat was talking about Shatterpoint, but they don't have the time or energy to paint minis. I want to try out Shatterpoint just so we can go paint minis with our friends when they have little mini painting parties.
Yeah, they're all painting their Warhammer minis, and we just sat there.
Yeah. Well, we came in at the end when they said that they were going to be done. But they're having painting parties? Yeah, I want to do that. I just don't have any minis to paint. So stay tuned. We might look into that at some point. One Danny EFC, thank you for the next one. Pressure might be on Kathleen Kennedy after Indy 5 bomb. I don't think it bombed.
I mean, it's not doing well.
I wouldn't call it a bomb. Although, I guess I should say, like, they probably didn't think it was gonna be this massive blockbuster hit. I feel like they're like, okay, well,
I don't know.
we finished this.
Like, I never know what to say. We're not box office experts the way that I would consider like Dan Murrell or Perry Nemiroff. Like, they study that stuff. They can say something informed about it. So I listen to their opinions if I care to, but
I don't care about box office talk.
I don't either.
Just, like, I know it affects how future movies are going to be made and like whether or not franchises stay alive, but I don't have it in my brain capacity to like follow that stuff and care about it. I just like movies.
Same. I'm not gonna use the box office to say that a movie is bad or good. Business wise, yeah, it's going to affect things. I don't know how it'll affect Kathleen Kennedy, and that's like, I don't know. Maybe there's going to be some pressure, or maybe it's just the fact that people in general aren't going to movies. And it's like, I haven't seen people talk about, this is probably isn't a good comparison, because I think Zaslav, is he the head of Warner Brothers? he's just doing a bunch of terrible things. So it's like maybe all of the hubbub about how badly the Flash bombed is getting lost in like a sea of terribleness. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't mind that the Flash bombed, to be honest.
Oh, I don't care. I wasn't going to see that.
I shouldn't say that I'm glad that it did. So instead I said I didn't mind.
I just didn't care. But
Brian's right. It's Barbie's time. I don't know why I'm so hyped about this Barbie movie, but every clip that I see of it is hilarious. So I think I'm going to really like it. We're definitely seeing Barbie first, chat. Because I went ahead and found us tickets to go see it on the 19th, which I don't know that there are any Wednesday showings for Oppenheimer.
Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, like, I also don't super care who is the head of Lucasfilm. Like, anytime Kathleen Kennedy comes up, I'm just like, I don't know why people want to fixate on that all the time.
Why blame her?
I just don't care. Whoever runs it, one day she will retire, and then some people are gonna be like, "See, we told you."
And then they'll start to blame whoever is taking her place.
Oh, like, yeah, and the cycle will continue.
It's a never-ending kind of thing. But it's just like people need someone to blame, so it's just like, yeah, might as well say the head of Lucasfilm is to blame for like everything that goes wrong.
I mean, I see a level of logic there, but it's weird that when things go well, when a project comes out that they like, they don't go, well, she did good on that. Yeah. No, it's always that it happened in spite of her. It's okay, well, at least be consistent.
Filoni and Favreau are making good stuff behind her back.
Right.
Anyways, no tangents today on that.
I think that ship has sailed.
Vanny the Uncanny, I like that name. Thank you for the next super chat. What did y'all, but mostly Molly, the horror hound. Ooh, I like that name. What did y'all think of the full trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's? Been a fan of the game since the start, and I'm so hype. They even have real animatronics. So I've never played the game, and I don't actually know very much about that universe. And I can't remember if I saw the full trailer or just the teaser, but it looked fun, and I think I would give it a shot and maybe go see it. Maybe I should play the game first, but
it's a pretty simple game.
Yeah.
I have played one of the games. I think not like I beat it. I just wanted to play it and see what all the hype was about. But I've not seen the trailer.
I don't remember when it came out, but yeah, we'll have to go and watch the trailer after the stream because I am interested. Brian says he's going to play it on POV during spooky season. I'll believe it when I see it, Brian. You said you were going to stream Survivor.
What if there's a giant animatronic onion chases you around?
Oh my god, wait. Isn't there a big onion in Overcooked?
Yes, the Onion King.
The Onion King! I was like, that's silly. That would never happen. Wait. Ooh. I like this next one from another super chat from Sean Sully. Didn't you watch RRR on a plane? What does that say about RRR?
See, sometimes you strike gold. I mean, that's the whole point, is that it's a movie that I want to watch, but I just haven't made the time to watch yet. And RRR is 3 hours long, and a bunch of people kept telling me how good it was, but I didn't know anything about it, and so I was like, I will finally put this on. Now's a good time. I'm sitting in a plane in the sky for 4.5 hours. So I put it on, and it changed my life. So yeah, it's not that I think every airplane movie is going to be bad. It's just like, I finally have some time. let's watch this.
Yeah. It's like I said earlier, when you're stuck in a giant metal tube in the air for a very specific amount of time, your brain kind of goes into this like, well, I might as well. Got nothing better to do. And for a movie, that is that long and fits that time period, you're like, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Plus, I watched it like 3 or 4 times afterwards on my own, so I think I made up for it. I've never watched a Fast and Furious movie. I haven't watched Fast 8 at home. I don't think I've watched a Fast and Furious movie a second time since Fast 5, and that movie is great.
Oh, my Instacart order got here. I should go get that and put it in the fridge. I'll bring up the next super chat from Darth Nicholas. I know it was done in non-canon comic back in the EU days, but would an actual Star Wars Indiana Jones crossover interest you?
No. And yeah, that I think you said it was a non-canon comic. It was just a bit of fun. But no, I don't think I would want an actual indie Star Wars crossover. I don't need all of my favorite franchises to be... Is that where that goes? Yep. Missed one piece. All right. Well, 2 pieces. But no, I don't need everything to cross over and be in one another's business. I like having indie and Star Wars separate, and then we get the occasional Easter egg or something like that. That's always going to be fun to me. But an actual crossover, nah. Dawson Ase, why did Dial of Destiny underperform? Is indie not hip enough? I mean, I think that's part of it, genuinely. Let me get a new bag here. Indie hasn't been in the theaters for 15 years. And like Crystal Skull, even though it did perform financially well, from what I can recall, it wasn't as well received. 15 years later, Indiana Jones just hasn't been around as much. The people who grew up with it are probably the only kind of people who are really, really invested in the franchise. Maybe some new fans were made. I hope so. Like, as adults showed their kids Indiana Jones and tried to get them interested in it. But I honestly wasn't that surprised to hear that it wasn't doing amazing, especially because for a while it seemed like every movie, and I wasn't following the box office that closely, but every Marvel movie was doing crazy numbers, and then COVID happened and people just had to stop going to the movies, and then for a while they were being choosier about what movies they went to see. And like, I remember we went and saw Shang-Chi. That was like our first movie back in theaters, and I was excited about it and I liked it, but I still didn't get back into that habit or desire to like go and see everything day one, especially when I know that in 6 to 8 weeks it's going to be on Disney Plus, and I'm already paying for that. I keep hearing Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is really good, and I'm pretty sure it did well at the box office. But I'm just like, I'll wait. I'm not as invested as I normally have been, so I'll wait. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who are like, oh, I like Indiana Jones, but I'll wait.
I'll wait. Yeah, like, after the pandemic, I feel like a lot of people just got used to being like, I'd rather wait and see it at home. Yep. It's not like, oh, I don't want to go out and potentially get sick. It's not that anymore. It's like, yeah. I got used to not doing it for long enough.
I honestly think that's it. At least like in our case. I'm not saying our experience is everyone's experience, but in our case, it's just kind of like I don't have to see the next Marvel movie in a theater, because I guess Black Widow like ruined that streak.
Maybe.
Because it had to. And I wonder if it's also like Disney Plus is bringing so many high quality TV streaming series into the home and there's just so many TV series period to watch and keep up with. It might be, I don't think it's an Indiana Jones overload, because clearly we haven't been inundated with Indiana Jones stories, but just in general, there's so much to see and watch, and everyone has to be choosier.
I think for me personally, and I've mentioned this before, but I'm just tired of superhero comic book movies.
I'm feeling a little burnt out.
I do want to see the new Spider-Verse movie. I couldn't bring myself to the point of going with you to the theater. He had to go see it without me because I was like,
had to.
I don't care. I'm sure it's good. I'm sure I'd like it. I gotta just like take a superhero comic book movie break.
That's wrong. What did I do?
Did you read the next one?
That's
were you
Dawson's?
Yeah, underperformed.
But yeah,
is
I do
Indy
think,
not hip enough?
I do think Indy is not as hip as he once was, even in 2008.
That movie was not made to bring in new fans of Indy. That movie was made to put him in the ground. To say it too intensely.
I mean, that's more intense than the movie, did it?
Yeah, but you get what I mean.
It was meant to be the final adventure.
Without actually putting him in the ground.
Right.
Anyways, I'm done with the box office talk. Let's see. Darth Nicholas has the next one. I should know this by now, but who was your favorite Star Wars Glub Shadow of all time and your top Star Wars Glub Shadow at the moment? I don't know that I've ever thought this much about Glub Shadows.
At the moment is an interesting one.
All time, we know yours.
Sure.
He's pointing to his
Biggs Darklighter, yeah.
shrine back there. Of all time? I have like a new one that I've become a big fan of, but I don't know what my all-time one is.
I thought that was going to be my guess.
I mean, that was kind of like a new... I guess I have just been a fan of hers. I just never had a word for it, but Ristal Sant is one that I've just recently started like collecting things with her on it, and like there aren't that many Ristal Sant things out there, so it feels like a fun little challenge.
For my current, I guess Cobb Vanth. He doesn't seem that current because we haven't seen him in a year, but I'm trying to think if there's anyone else that's popped up that I really got into.
Current Star Wars Glub Shadow.
Maybe, I mean, Paz Vizsla jumped up a lot. I don't know if I would consider him a Glub Shadow. He would be to maybe a casual audience, but I did really like him in the latest season of The Mandalorian.
I want to just say Anzellans.
I think that's fair.
Like, as a species, they're fairly new to Star Wars. They popped up in The Rise of Skywalker first, and then we got them in Mando.
I think it's okay to say, like, a species or a droid or something. Just, I love it when this thing pops up.
Yeah. They're so good at what they do. And I like how they talk. No squeezy.
Bad baby.
Liam Smith has the next one. Hey both, met you twice at Star Wars Celebration you're up 23. First, I choked on a hot dog, ran up to you and fangirled. Second, right at the end with my girlfriend, you were going to get potential Biggs merch. Did you get it in time?
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
And we made a new, like, lifelong friend of that guy selling those cards because he sent us, I think, 2 more. Mm-hmm. Oh, you got him out. 2 more Biggs cards that he didn't have since then.
This is what we got at Celebration. That I had already.
Yeah, these look familiar.
Yeah, these I already had. So this is what I got at Celebration. I just went to, like, trading cards is pretty easy to be like, okay, I don't think I have everything that Biggs has ever been on in a trading card. So I just went up and showed the guy a picture of Biggs and was like, do you have anything with this man on it? And he was
have
like,
you seen this man, this beautiful man?
He was like, I do. And he started to search for it and he couldn't find it. And he was like, come back tomorrow, I will find it. And it was like, as the showroom was closing down, I was like, I sent this man on this quest, I have to go get it or I would feel terrible. I made it, he had it, and then, like, I told him my Biggs story and he was super into it, and then contacted us on Instagram and he was like, hey, I found 2 more if you have an address, and he just sent these to us.
Yeah.
And one of them has a film cell in it with Biggs in it, which is awesome.
Is that the one with the... Yeah, that is the one. But the picture is not Biggs.
Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's Garvin Drace, but the film cell is Biggs.
Yeah. This is the one of him in the cape.
Yeah. His best look. But yeah, that's what I was off in a rush to go get, and I did make it. Thank you for asking. It was fun.
It was fun. I wish they had kept the floor open a little while longer because we were just, like, rushing all weekend long and barely had any time to just peruse that area and see what they had. But it's become a tradition now to, like, get a beer and just walk around the floor on the last day.
I mean, we do that every day, but it's also a fun way to close out.
Yeah. I would do it for a lot longer, but we're so busy. We don't have time. Jeremy Skywalker, thank you for the next one. Doc Andar's Black Series figure comes with 2 holocrons, a clone helmet, and a sword. Do we know what the sword is from?
I genuinely just perked up at it. Yeah, it's an ancient Sith sword, I think. It was in the...
Is it from Secrets of the Empire?
No.
We'll never see that sword again.
It's not that one. It's from the Galaxy's Edge comic by Ethan Sachs, and that's one of those comics that, like, it's 5 issues and it tells a larger story, but also each issue tells, like, a flashback story. So that one, the MacGuffin is, over the years, Doc Ondar has been collecting bits and pieces of this ancient sword, and then he finally assembles it at the end, just for his collection.
Aww.
But yeah, it's a cool looking sword.
Good for him.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people die along the way. He's not the best guy.
I like the next super chat. I don't know if this got sent in twice or not. From Carlisle the Cinephile. They said, did you hear the joyous news? Buryaga lives! We did hear that yesterday on the High Republic show. That's all they revealed. And I was like,
That's not true.
Well, I mean, like, of his fate. Just that he was alive. I thought they were going to set something up, but they're just like, yeah, he lives. Anyways.
No, they said he lived, and you can find out how in the Tales of Light and Life book, which... and then they also said that would be available at Comic-Con. But, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, if they're going to make a big deal out of it, he's obviously alive. They're not going to be like, find out his fate on Thursday or Wednesday, and then be like, he dead.
He did.
Stop asking.
Yeah.
Stop harassing Charles Soule.
I will not do that. I will always do that. And, yeah, it's what I figured. There was no way he was going to be dead.
But it is kind of a weird choice to just be like, yeah, we're going to tell everyone on a YouTube show instead of letting you find out in the book. But it was a fun, I think, Star Wars community thing that they maybe didn't expect people to super rally behind.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a fun, like, social experiment kind of thing. And there's just, like, a massive amount of Burry fans out there.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie Gunner said, can we talk about the pose that Markion's hitting on the book cover, though?
Markion Ho,
Markion
as people are calling it.
He's always manspreading, which is fine.
That's just become a Star Wars thing now. That's how you sit on thrones. You can't sit on a throne a normal way.
Yeah, imagine sitting on a throne, like, totally
imagine
just,
that.
like...
Imagine being a normal person.
You just turn into someone that sits like that when you get on a throne. We also saw what Bo-Katan did.
Mm-hmm.
She took it to the next
Bo-Katan,
level
Darth
and just,
Maul,
like,
too.
popped her leg up.
Darth Maul has a big spread.
That's... Anyways. David Kaplan, thank you for the next one. Love your channel. Is there any film on the horizon that you both would want to see on the first day? Barbie. I think we already discussed that one enough. I did get tickets for what they're calling the Barbie Blowout, which is just like a Wednesday night show for the 19th. But other than that, I don't know if we'll have time to see Oppenheimer that opening weekend, but we might see it another weekend. I don't know.
I'm interested in Oppenheimer. Oh, I know. Dune 2. I want to see that. And that's another one that, like, a lot of my friends are super, super into Dune, and I'm excited to see it with them. I've read the book. I'm excited to see part 2 because I think that's the better half of the book. But I'm really excited to see that with my friends who I know will want to see it opening day.
Can we go to the same theater
with
and
the butt rumble
and get a whole bottle of wine?
Uh-huh.
Then I'll go too.
So Molly had not read the book, and the movie's got a slow start. The story in general does. It's a lot of setup before a lot of explosions happen and everything falls apart. And Molly and I split a bottle of wine in the theater, and Molly was like, "I have to pee," and I was like, I thought for a second, I was like,
I knew that was gonna happen,
and I was like, "I think you're fine. Go ahead and go." And the second she like turned the corner to leave, I saw something that I was like, oh no.
I came back. When I left, it was fairly quiet, whatever. When I came back, there was a giant battle going on the screen, and I was like, what did I miss?
You left in the middle of, like, Duke Atreides and his wife, like, having a nice moment, and then you came back in, and there were ships in the sky raining fire, and it was literally the Troy with the pizza meme from Community, where you just came back in, like, what happened?
What did I miss? But I didn't mind. I was like, well, it's fine. I had to pee real bad. Whatever. Darth Nicholas, thanks for another super chat. I forgot to mention Rav Braylor, Finn Shisa, and Toby Dalla as possible candidates for Tales of the Mandos animated series. With that said, what are the chances such legends Mandos, except for TB, what's TB, could appear in Mando Season 4? What legends Mandos could appear in Season 4?
I'm not sure what TB stands for.
I don't think they're going to bring any legends Mandalorians into Season 4.
Finn Shisa, I think, was kind of around in that time, but yeah, I'm trying to think of someone that Dave Filoni, I'm sure, knows those names, but Jon Favreau, I almost want to say for sure does not.
Yeah. I don't know. I like it as long as it makes sense for the story. I don't mind. I just don't know any off the top of my head.
I mean, like, you can it's not going to hurt anything to just have a character. Like maybe, I don't think we named any of the Wasteland Mandos. They could throw in some familiar names.
Sure.
Just for fun.
I did like seeing them showcased on that behind the scenes thing about like all the armor was kind of like pieced together, and that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Lightspeed Bear? Thanks for being a Biggs Mega Fans member for 10 months. If you just tuned in, you missed 2 separate opportunities to use my expletive emote.
I think
because I've been on a roll tonight.
I think
cussing.
you keep saying that word because we keep talking about Glup-Shittos. So it's just right there at the start.
It's right there.
You're primed.
Might as well. Another super chat from Carlisle the Cinephile. If I were to introduce NPCs into my High Republic D&D campaign based on you two, what would you like those characters to be? Oh my. You gonna be a droid or?
A droid makes sense, or a Jedi that works in the archive.
Yeah.
Don't make me too cool. I know what I'm about.
I want to be really kooky, because that's my word of the day, apparently.
Is it kooky or is it shit?
You don't have an emote with expletives over your mouth, so you just have to use mine. Oh, man. Bounty Hunter would be fun. Like a kooky shopkeeper that hits on people. I'm just trying to think of how to make it fun.
If you ever need like that idea of, if you ever need ideas for how to make a character just a little more interesting and give them a little more depth, just go to whotheFismydndcharacter.com and they have some hilarious ideas.
Tycho Murner in the chat said Alex is a protocol droid and Molly is a snarky astromech. We're literally 3PO and R2.
Okay, yeah. That honestly, you might be more of a chopper, but
yeah, depends on the day.
I can be AP5. But yeah, that honestly checks out pretty well.
Oh my god. Carlisle the Cinephile sent another one in and said, how about an ace pilot with a big mustache who knows a bunch of obscure trivia for Alex?
I mean, that'd be nice. A little on the nose.
That works too. As long as I'm the astromech droid, constantly messing with him.
That immediately made me think of that Barbie meme of like them getting arrested and then putting the names under it. And so Barbie being arrested is 3PO. She looks all worried, and then and then Ken being arrested, he's all happy. That's R2D2. That's also us.
Yeah.
Molly is like not scared of getting into trouble, and I absolutely am. That feels right.
Mm-hmm. It depends on the situation. I'm not just not scared of getting into trouble.
You're a risk taker.
Yeah.
Your body's writing checks your... Wait, mind can't cash? I messed that up.
What kind of checks are my body writing?
Your mind's... Your ego? Your ego's writing body. This is the most drunk I've sounded on stream, and I've had nothing but water.
We're so healthy, we're getting lightheaded. Chaos cavity strikes again. Someone clip it. Oh yeah, I think you can do clips on YouTube. Your ego is writing checks. Your body can't cash.
I almost got there, and then I gave up.
Thank you, Brian, for straightening that one out for us. Caleb Diaz has the next one. Thank you so much, Caleb. I'm gonna start wrapping up here because we gotta go cook dinner. Hey, thanks for shouting out the Cantina event, by the way. Got to meet Garrick Hagan while I was at Star Wars Celebration. He signed my 40th anniversary poster, 72 signatures strong.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's awesome. That's super cool.
We didn't get to meet him.
I know, we made it too late. We were just moving a little slow because...
We took forever to get there.
Yeah, we were moving slow.
Realize how far away it was.
it was far away, and we were also just like, after a day of conning, we were like, we need to just have a sit down. We went and we got dinner. We were moving slow, and by the time we got there, he was already gone. But it's okay. I've met him once. It's okay.
Yeah. That's awesome, though. That is a lot of signatures. Red Tornado 98, thank you for the next one. Hey, I have a suggestion. Drunk Star Wars Connect live stream.
Oh, well, I don't have a Connect. If that's
What is that? Connect?
if I'm hearing it right, it's not spelled the way it's supposed to, but the Xbox Connect, they had like a Star Wars game.
Oh.
Man, remember that when like motion controls were first coming out in games and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
But
well,
yeah.
there is a new 1-2 Switch thing, apparently.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
I would love to play that.
But yeah, that would be funny if I had a Connect. Maybe we could find a way to make that work.
There might be an After Dark stream in the future.
We've been talking about it because Molly is trying to get through Survivor, and we just haven't had a great schedule for streaming.
Yeah.
But
We might do a little something tomorrow. Keep
we'll see.
keep your eyes peeled. Don't make any Friday night plans. I'm just kidding. Do make plans.
Yeah, do that. That'd be
Let's see. The Dano channel. Thank you for the next one. Please dress as emo droids at Mosh Isley. Hey, I mean, we could make that happen.
Is that just 000 and BT1? A bunch of black and red.
Oh, we have both of they're over there. Just black droids. All all
put some chains on them or something.
make it like matte black and
Yeah.
put a bunch of like stickers all over them.
Yeah, patches. Yeah, I like that.
And then Jamie Dorr, thank you for the last super chat here. Not Star Wars related, but did any of you see any special effects shots in The Godfather Part 3? If ILM was involved, I'm only seeing prosthetics and makeup effects.
I have not. Have I seen Godfather 3?
I know for sure I have not.
If I've seen it, it's been forever. As in, like, I was too young to watch it, probably, and just kind of blocked it out. Or I feel like I was in a room while Godfather 3 was on, but I don't remember anything about it, so I have no idea.
I don't either.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. We are absolutely no help when it comes to the Godfather movies.
That's always my, like, film cinema hot take. I don't really like the Godfather movies.
Yeah.
But I just don't like
gangster movies.
Yeah, I don't like mobster movies for the most part. There are some outliers. I like The Departed. But I also haven't really watched any in a long time. I might need to give them a shot again.
Yeah. I'm not sure what this is about. From Wookie Sasquatch, thank you for this is actually maybe our last super chat of the night. What do you make of that teaser post this week with a picture of Lando?
Oh, I think they were genuinely just saying, like, Happy Friday.
Oh, yeah.
If that's,
I remember that.
If we're talking about the right thing.
I saw that. They were making a joke of, like, all right, it's 5 o'clock, I'm out of here.
Yeah, it was like when Friday at 5 rolls around and it was Lando saluting.
Yeah.
And it was just, I think it was just them making a joke, like, goodbye.
If they haven't shown us any more Ahsoka footage, they're not just going to drop a Lando teaser out there. But, yeah, I don't know. I think that might be reading into it a little bit.
I can't imagine being, like, you can't tweet anything without Star Wars fans going, what does it mean? Me included. Like, I'm not trying to say that.
We should tweet something really, like, random. Just see what people think.
I mean, that's happened before. Like, I can't remember what I tweeted something.
Did you tweet about Louisiana Beauregard yet?
No.
I need you to tweet about that.
I tweeted something that was just a joke, and people, even though we don't deal in leaks or anything like that, people were like, but what do you mean by that? And I was like, nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just making a joke.
Yeah, anything could mean anything. Anyways, check us out on Threads, where we're dropping hot takes and
You are.
and secret
Wait, are you?
coded messages.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Molly was like, I signed us up for Threads, and I was like, okay, cool,
Yeah.
whatever.
I like it so far. Dark Card, thank you for the little super chat, kitty cat. Speaking of kitty cats, Pippin was in here earlier. He might make an appearance, and
Oh, he definitely makes it. Oh, wait, he makes an appearance in our
Is that-
Rebels.
yeah,
video.
our Rebels video, not the Q&A.
If you weren't, we shot our first Rebels rewatch video today, which is almost an hour long. Probably closer to like 45 minutes after editing, but
It's a good one.
good long discussion, and Pippin keeps putting his butt in the camera.
He's the star of every show, and he wants to make sure that we know that. But that's it for us tonight. We're going to go cook some dinner. Thank you for tuning in. Smash that like button if you feel like it. Or don't smash it. Just tap it lightly. Tap it gently, someone said in the chat earlier today. And yeah, if we don't see you again in the next few days live on the channel, we'll definitely be back here
I think Tuesday.
Tuesday? Yes, Tuesday next week for another Survivor stream. So that's it for us tonight. Have a good night, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.